Hello, welcome to my channel Accounts Accuracy. Today just be my good luck charm and hit the subscribe button as well as the like button. I'll be obliged if you will do that much favor for me. So let us start the third part of bills of exchange. Here we will be discussing about the dishonor of bill, renewal of bill and insolvency of the acceptor. What is dishonor of bill? It is the time when the acceptor of the bill refuses to pay the amount on the date of maturity because he declares himself as insolvent. He says that I have no penny left with me, so I am unable to pay back the money which was due to you on behalf of bill. Hence, what happens? The holder of the bill recovers the amount from any of the endorsers or from the drawer, but the drawer actually suffers the loss if the drawee becomes insolvent. Let's see, there are 4 cases when the dishonor of bill takes place. So here is the first case, that is when the bill is held by the drawer himself till the date of maturity. You can see here, this is the drawer who will keep the bill till the date of maturity. Then what happens when the bill will be dishonored? And what will be the second case? That is when the bill gets discounted from bank and it gets dishonored. The third case may be when the bill is endorsed to third party and the bill gets dishonored on the date of maturity. And fourth case could be, I had told you, bill could be endorsed from one person to another a number of times. Hence, when the bill will be endorsed more than once and it gets dishonored, what happens? So, we will be discussing all these 4 cases one by one. Now you see, when the bill held by the drawer gets dishonored on the date of till the time of maturity, then what happens? You have to just pass the reverse entry of the entry which was passed at the time of drawing of the bill, because just by passing the reverse entry you cancel the entry which you passed at the time of drawing of the bill, because the money has not been received by the drawer. So what is the need of keeping the bill? Hence, he will cancel the same entry when it was passed at the time of drawing of the bill. You know, at the time of drawing of the bill, the entry was bills receivable to Y account. Here, the reverse entry will be Y account to bills receivable account. Just opposite entry will be passed in order to cancel that entry. Next entry would be Y account to cash account. Cash account here is written just to show the money which is paid to the notary public, that is noting charges. Now I would like to tell you what is noting charges. Noting charges is the amount which is paid to the notary public by the holder of the bill, because the bill is handed over to the notary public who is appointed by the court. The bill gets dishonored and notary public actually presents the dishonored bill to the acceptor, that is drawee, and just tries to discover all the reasons behind the refusal of the payment of the bill. He is supposed to pay the amount, but what are the reasons? Why is he denying to pay the bill? That is actually noted by the notary public at the refusal of the payment. Now you can see here that amount, that small fee which is charged by, or you can say which is rendered to the notary public, is called noting charges, and such charges are paid to the notary public first by the holder of the bill and ultimately it is paid by the acceptor of the bill. So that is why, as he is the one who pays the noting charges at last, so in his account only it will be written as noting charges. But as that noting charges money will be recovered by the drawer from him, so in the account of drawer it will be written as to cash instead of noting charges. So this thing you have to remember. Only in the books of drawee we write noting charges, but in other accounts we write it as cash. We don't write noting charges because at last the amount will ultimately be recovered from acceptor. You have to remember this thing, that noting charges account will only and only be written in the books of drawee, not in the books of endorser or drawer. Now these two entries can be written as combined entry, that is Y account to bills receivable account to cash account. Bills receivable account, whatever is the amount, along with the noting charges amount. And here also in the books of drawee, you may write these two entries as combined entry, that is bills payable account to noting charges account to cash account. Now come to the next, that is when the bill is discounted from bank is dishonored. So the reverse entry will be passed at the time of bill discounted from bank. The entry was bank account to Y account. Now you can see here in the drawers account, we have to pass the entry as Y account to bank account. Y will again be made due. So Y account will be debited to bank account, and Y account will be debited with the bill value as well as with the noting charges value. And in the books of drawee, bills payable account will be debited, noting charges amount will be debited to X account, because he owes money to X again as the bill gets dishonored. And you have to write both as separate entries. You can't write both amount together because noting charges is the expense for drawee. So it will be shown in his books of account as a separate account. Now come to the next, that is when the bill is endorsed to the third party is dishonored. You can see here there is the third party, that is endorsee, to whom the bill was endorsed. I have already discussed endorsee is the person to whom bill is transferred. Now let us understand the same with the sum here. On 1st Feb, Y owned 5,000 to X. Y accepted a bill for 3 months drawn by X for the amount. You can see here X is the drawer and Y is the drawee. On the 1st Feb, he owes money to X. So on due date, the bill was dishonored. For 3 months, the bill was drawn and it got dishonored on the due date, and the noting charges of 500 were paid. Now you are supposed to do the journal entry in the books of X and Y. The first case is bill held by drawer X herself till the date of maturity. So let us see what happens when the bill stays with drawer till the date of maturity. You can see here at the time of sale, the entry was Y account to sales account, and when the bill was drawn, the entry was bills receivable account to Y account. These two entries you already know. So let us discuss only the entry of dishonored. On 4th May, when the bill will be dishonored, you have to pass the reverse entry as I told. Y account will again be debited and bills receivable account will be cancelled by crediting. And after that you will write to cash. This to cash is actually the amount 500 which was paid to the notary public, that is as noting charges. You should know who is notary public. Notary public is the person appointed by the court, and he is the one who just collects all the information from the acceptor of the bill for not paying the money to drawer, and so for that he charges a small fee that is called as noting charges. This noting charges will actually be recovered at last from the drawee of the bill. So that's why in the books of drawer you will write it as to cash, because the drawer will definitely recover the money from the drawee. So it's not an expense, it's just the amount which is paid by drawer, and as the drawer is going to recover it, you are not going to write it as noting charges. But in case of drawee, you have to write it as an expense, and the account will be written as noting charges account, and that will be debited as it's an expense, or you can say loss for drawee. So that's why it will be debited as per the rule. Now you can see here you have to cancel the same entry, that is X to BP, just by reversing it BP to X, bills payable to X account. You know that in case of drawee, you should know that this entry will keep repeating in all the cases. Here simply you have to write all the time bills payable to X in order to cancel the entry which was passed at the time of drawing of the bill. Next, in case of when the bill will be endorsed to the third party, that is Z gets dishonored. At the time of endorsement, the entry which was passed in the books of drawer was Z account to BR account. Now at the time of dishonor of the bill, the entry will be Y account to Z account because Y will be made due again and Z account will be credited because he will be paid the money along with the noting charges of and bill value. In books of endorsee, you have to pass entry as X account to bills receivable account to cash account because X owes money to endorsee, so X account will be debited and bills receivable will be cancelled by crediting, and to cash account because cash is the noting charges which is paid by the endorsee, and this endorsee is going to recover the money from the drawer. Again, drawer will recover this noting charges amount from the drawee. So in the books of drawee, you will write the entry as noting charges debit, bills payable debit to X account, and here you have to show noting charges separately. You can see here this drawee account, all the entries keeps on repeating, and you have to remember in drawee's account only we write noting charges. In other accounts we don't write noting charges as a separate account, we write it as to cash. Now our third case is when the bill is discounted from bank is dishonored. In this case, your entry in the books of Y will always remain same, no changes there. In all the cases, the entries in the books of drawee will remain same. You have to simply take care in the books of drawer. Here, at the time of discounting of bill, the entry was bank account to discounting charges account to bills receivable account. You have to just simply pass the entry as Y account to bank account, because at the time of drawing of the bill, your entry was bills receivable to Y. This entry which was passed at the time of drawing of the bill will be reversed and you will write it as Y account again will be debited and to bank. The amount is paid to bank. So this entry will be passed as Y account to bank account. You have to pass this entry at the time of dishonor of the bill. Your amount will be written as bills account plus noting charges value, that is 500. 50,500 will be the amount which will be written, and in case of Y account there is no change. So this is how you are going to pass the entry at the time of dishonor. I hope this video might have helped you. If you really liked my video, please do subscribe my channel as well as hit the like button. Thanks for your support.